Can you shed some light on the history of gunpowder in India? As I've heard that it was first invented in China. Is it true or a partial truth? So, I expect that if you go to Wikipedia, Wikipedia will tell you that gunpowder was invented in China. I think Wikipedia says that gunpowder was invented in China somewhere around the 8th or ninth century, about 11 or 1200 years before today. That's what they claim. That's what Wikipedia says. Now, as I have said many times in the past, Wikipedia is not a reliable source of information, especially when it pertains to Indian history and Indian culture. So, what is the truth? So, let me share my screen and share a certain text with you. Let's do it now. Let's do it right away. So, this is by Dr. Gustav Oppert, who was a German Indologist, who says that gunpowder originated in ancient India. Let's read the beginning paragraph. The invention of gunpowder has been ascribed to different individuals belonging to different countries, and as the question as to its authorship and antiquity is still an open one, we shall discuss the moot point and shall endeavor to prove that the oldest documents mentioning and describing gunpowder are found in India and written in Sanskrit, and that the use of gunpowder and its application to the discharge of missiles from projectile weapons was a well known fact in ancient India, corroborating so far the opinion of those who have always pointed out India as the original seat of its invention. The question whether China received the knowledge of gunpowder or from India or vice versa cannot be touched here, and so on. No Chinese work on this question can, with respect to antiquity, be compared with this Shukraniti. Shukraniti. So, even if the Chinese should have independently invented gunpowder, the claim as to priority of invention will certainly remain with India. So, the oldest known reference to gunpowder, to Agni Churna, is in the ancient Indian text called the Shukraniti, Shukraniti, which is ascribed to the ancient sage Shukracharya. What's interesting is that the Shukraniti is referenced in the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. And even the Arthashastra in the beginning pays obeisance to Shukracharya. So we know for a fact that the Arthashastra is about 2,500 years old. And the Arthashastra references Shukracharya, who is the author of the Shukraniti. The Shukraniti has clear references to gunpowder and to projectile weapons that can fire missiles that have gunpowder as their fuel. So it tells you how ancient the knowledge of gunpowder was in India. So minimum, at the very least, 2.5 or 3,000 years before today, and most likely way, way older than that. That's how old gunpowder, the knowledge of gunpowder, was in India. Most likely the Chinese would have acquired this knowledge from India because there were ancient contacts, very extensive ancient contacts between India and China. And India was a net exporter of culture, a massive net exporter of culture, ideas, knowledge, wisdom to China. China absorbed all of that from India. So, most likely the Chinese got this knowledge from India. So it is very clear. Despite what Wikipedia says, despite what all your eminent historians will say, it is very clear that gunpowder was first invented in India. The knowledge of gunpowder in India goes back at the very least 2,500 years before today.